Good morning and shalom and welcome everybody. This is Mama Bell here from Shalom Pod. I am very excited this afternoon to introduce to you a new friend I met via Facebook. Her name is Mary from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. And we're going to just kind of talk a little bit about today about homesteading and aspiring farming and introduce to you a little bit about what she does in her area of Ramona, California. It's kind of cool. We both are California homesteaders. We're talking a little bit about how to do the gardening and the homesteading here in our area. And so I'm just more than thrilled to introduce you to Mary at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and I'm going to let her just take it away. So good afternoon, Mary. How are you this morning?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really excited that we got the chance to hook up via Facebook. Yeah, via Facebook, which is a great social media that you can kind of meet some neat people. And I would like you to tell a little bit about yourself, if you wouldn't mind starting off. Tell me a little bit about Mary. Who are you? How you got started, and kind of giving the online listeners a little bit of an audience, a little bit of a background about who you are, and kind of get started from there.
Sure. So my name is Mary, as we already talked about. I am half of the owner and operator at Mary's Heirloom Seeds. Together with my husband, Doc, we run everything out of it here. We're a mom-and-pop small business. It was created out of a desire to help people become more sustainable and more self-sufficient. I was born and raised in California. I moved away for several years. I moved it to South Florida, which is where I met my husband. So I have experience growing food both in California in the desert and then also in Florida, which was very tropical. So you have much different climates there to deal with. So we started Mary's Heirloom Seeds back in 2011. The goal was to give people a trusted source for clean heirloom seeds, but also to help them grow. To really go back into why we started Mary's Heirloom Seeds, and that was over 10 years ago. I was just feeling crummy most days, and I realized I just needed to make a change in my eating habits and my living habits. So we started making some changes, and during that time, we learned about the different foods, different ways that people grow the food. So you've got commercial foods, you've got conventional farming, you have organic farming. So with Mary's Heirloom Seeds, we help people specifically grow organic food. That's a really important part for me. We learned about what GMOs are and the cancer-causing pesticides and herbicides that are used in conventional farming. So with that, we just thought we have to start growing more of our own food. My granny grew a garden every year, so growing up, we had food growing. It was just kind of getting back into the swing of things. With Mary's Heirloom Seeds, it gave us a great opportunity to share our wealth of knowledge. We go one step beyond. We offer planting tutorials, planting videos. When we started back in 2011, we offered only 20 heirloom seed varieties, which is a small number, but it was a big deal for us. Back in 2013, we expanded. We opened up a booth at the farmers market, and we were excited to offer 80 varieties. And now here we are, fast forward from there in 2017, and we offer over 440 varieties of heirloom seeds.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, I find it very interesting, Mary, how people who learn about gardening, homesteading, eating healthy have been on the other side of the track with being ill.
Yes.
And we've learned from being not well or having difficulty in our body or having deal with some kind of disease or illness to finally find hope in the simple things of how to take care of yourself, whether it's through eating healthy or whether it's through exercising, getting outside in the sunshine. So I find that very interesting and fascinating. A lot of people that I've spoken to, including myself, and that's one of the reasons why we do what we do here, is that you've been on one end of the spectrum of not feeling well to realizing, wow, I need to do something different. And in doing something different and doing a change creates almost a small business, as you guys have, of offering that kind of knowledge and information of what you're doing now to the community. I love what you say on your site here, too, that you're a ma and pop small business. I just think that caught my attention when I was reading your about page. I thought, yeah, that's cool. It's a small family business. And that's one thing that we love to do here at Shalom Pod, is that I want to find people that are grassroots, family, local, that aren't the big guys up there quite yet. And if they get there, great. If they don't, that's okay. And that we can help those little small farmers that can possibly, or businesses for that matter, just people can learn about them and be able to connect with them on a very real family, homesteading, community kind of way. So that's awesome. Congratulations for the productivity you guys had from 80 to 400 seeds. That's just amazing. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's definitely been an exciting adventure. I can definitely say that. There's definitely a shop small movement in America where more and more people are turning to the smaller businesses that really cater to the customer service part of it, not the larger corporations. You have a one-on-one interaction. You know, even like you said, you saw on my website, my customers know, or our customers know, that the information is available on the website, but they also know that we're an email or a phone call away. So that makes it a little more special than just, a random website, you're buying seeds and that's what you get.
Exactly,
so
exactly.
It's been exciting.
Yeah.
We love it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you said it so well. It just allows the community, the people that you're working with, know that they have a safe haven per se to find in contacting us and not feel like we're a large corporate business that they can't associate with us on a real level. I mean, I have stories of people I talk to regarding health issues or, down to the like the Berkey waters that we offer and the Vitamixes and the different things that we're doing here, even on a local homestead kind of thing with gardening and with selling of my herbs and the plants that we sell come spring and summer. But it's a beauty to be able to offer the information that I know so that they can get the knowledge that they need, and prayerfully they'll come back to do business with us. If they don't, then that's okay too. At least they've gone away with something that's important for them to hear and know. Very good. So what are the different types of seeds? There's heirloom, there's hybrid, there's GMO. For our listening audience that doesn't understand the difference, would you kind of explain a little bit about those different kinds of seeds and your passion of really offering the heirloom and the non-GMO seeds to your community?
Absolutely. So like I said, we've said heirloom seeds over and over again. We are Mary's Heirloom Seeds, so we don't offer any hybrid or genetically modified seeds. An heirloom seed variety specifically is a variety that's been saved and passed down from generation to generation. So they've been carefully cultivated, and they're considered a great value, especially for homesteaders who want to be able to save their seeds and not have to keep buying year after year. Some people say that an heirloom seed variety is 50 years or more or older. Some say it's over 100 years. At Mary's Heirloom Seeds, we actually offer quite a few that can be traced back over 400 years and even over 1,000 years. Wow. For example, the blue speckled Tapari bean. It's a newer variety we offer, and it can be traced back to the Mayan culture. So you're looking at a seed that's been around for a really long time. And heirloom seeds are specifically non-hybrid and non-GMO. Heirloom seeds can be unique as a lemon cucumber or a Romanesco Italia broccoli, and others can be just as simple as a Roma tomato, which is something you can get in the store. Although growing your own heirloom tomato is far tastier than something you would get in the store, in my experience. Now, a hybrid seed, on the other hand, is a seed that's been produced by cross-pollinating plants. A hybrid seed production is predominant in agriculture and some home gardening. Some say the benefits of a hybrid is that it could be stronger or it can be more disease resistant. However, the drawback is that seeds saved from your fruits or your veggies can be sterile for future planting. So from a homesteading perspective, it may not be the best option because once you save those seeds, you don't necessarily know if A, you're going to be able to grow anything from those saved seeds, or B, if they're going to be a different style altogether. Whereas an heirloom seed, you'll get a true plant each planting. Now, the ones, I don't have an issue with hybrids. We just don't sell them because we're not a hybrid seed company. Now, what I do take issue with is a new form of hybridization called cell fusion. It's a technology that is used to create a sterile breeding line and it's most common in F1 hybrid seed varieties. So it's a biotech engineering of a hybrid seed. It's not something that would naturally occur. So you can take a red and a yellow tomato in nature, and you can create a hybrid. However, using cell fusion, they're actually genetically editing those seeds. So in my opinion, it would be a genetic modification and not a hybridization.
I see. Okay.
And that is one of the things where the terminology is important. And a lot of people say, you have people on the pro-GMO line that say farmers have been genetically modifying food for hundreds of years. But that's not actually the case, because you can't, with our seed laws in this country, you can't patent an heirloom seed. But you can patent a genetically modified seed because it's a specific way of creating something. A genetically modified organism, a GMO, is a plant which is created, it's also animals, unfortunately, through gene splicing and biotechnology. It's also called genetic engineering, or shortened to GE. So this technology is using the DNA splicing of plants, of animals, bacteria, and viral genes that do not and cannot naturally happen through crossbreeding. So you might have heard the term GMO with groups fighting around the country, fighting around the world. There's a labeling campaign in this country. Some countries have actually banned additional GMO crops from being grown. One of my biggest concerns with GMOs is that they're designed to withstand and thrive heavy doses of cancer-causing pesticides and herbicides. In my opinion, there should be more independent research on the potential side effects before they are approved, not after.
Yes, yes, and I hear your passion in how you're saying this, and I would 100% agree. Honestly, we need to educate the communities, the societies, the people that need to learn about where their food comes from. And unfortunately, a lot of people just choose not to want to learn. They don't really care, but it's of utmost importance, because I'm the person that would opt that if I had a choice between genetically modified foods and conventional produce, I'd opt for conventional produce over genetically modified foods. Because even though the conventional produce is sprayed, it's tampered with, it's messed with, and it's possibly genetically modified, I'd rather opt to that if I had a choice. Because I know from what I've read, from what I've studied, from what I've seen, that you don't want to play Russian roulette with genetically modified foods. It is an evil, evil thing. And coming from a scriptural point of view, I believe also that it is demonic. I think it's an enemy tactic that will incorporate disease and death among people and young children, because your body cannot understand it. It's a foreign object when it's being entered into the human body. And I'm very passionate about making sure that my family, my children especially, don't eat anything that's genetically modified. So I am on the same page you are with the passion that you have in what you're doing regarding heirloom seeds and non-GMO seeds. So congratulations. Hats off for your education, your studying to understand and to know and to educate people. Yeah. And now one thing to mention is I specify independent research. So there is a lot of research out there. However, the current research available is sponsored by and conducted by the Biotech Corporation. So they produce their own seeds, and then they produce the research that says that they're safe for human consumption. That, to me, is that's a conflict of interest, and they don't allow the independent research because, of course, they don't want people using it. One of the arguments that people use in the pro-GMO crowd is that GMOs were created to feed starving people around the world. However, here we are, over 20 years later.
I wrote an article, GMO Crops Do Not Cure Hunger. And in that article, all of this is available on my website, which is marysheirloomseeds.com. And again, it's titled GMOs Do Not Cure Hunger. We've had genetically modified food for over 20 years, and here we are. We have more starving people in the United States and around the world than ever before. Part of that is the demand for biofuels. They're using particularly corn ethanol, which they're using genetically modified corn. And in California, you have a higher percentage of ethanol, of corn ethanol, than in any other state. And they're not using genetically modified crops just for food. They're using it as a heavily subsidized way for cheap fuel and cheap sugar. So it's not exactly curing hunger. It's because they're using it for other products.
Wow.
One startling revelation I have for you and for your listeners, Syngenta and Monsanto, they are the two largest, two out of 5, 6, 7 biotech corporations in the world. They also sell non-GMO seeds. So Semines is the seed-selling arm of Monsanto. They sell genetically modified seeds to farmers, but they also sell non-GMO and organic seeds to seed companies in the United States. Not some, but all. Some seed companies have no issues with purchasing their seed stock from a company who makes their fortune producing chemicals and GMOs. Those chemicals, they don't just poison the planet, they don't just poison us, they also kill the bees. And a lot of people have heard about colony collapse disorder. We have bees, different bees have been putting on the endangered species list recently. Specifically at Mary's Heirloom Seeds, we're dedicated to sustainable organic growing and protecting seed diversity for future generations, not just for us. We have to think about the next generation and their kids and their grandkids. We don't ever purchase from chemical companies. Our seed stock, again, we talk about being a mom and pop. Our seed stock comes from small family farmers and seed growers around the country, that are, some of whom are also dedicated to seed diversity and growing sustainably. So it's one of those things that, like you said, we are very passionate about. It's a really important thing to us.
Yeah, and you are spinning a lot of plates very well, sounds like it, because of what you do and what you know and who you're coming in contact with to be able to discuss the importance and the passion that you sound like you have, which I can hear it. I mean, it's very quite honoring to be able to interview you and to be able to discuss this with you, because there's only very few people that are willing to put their, I don't want to say their life on the line per se, but we have an organic produce delivery service that we offer up here with Abundant Harvest Organics that's up in the Central California area. And they're an organic farm, and we are the host up for the high desert. So my husband goes down, picks up the boxes that are ordered online, and then we come back up to the high desert and we distribute them to the people who have ordered their boxes. And we are very in connection with the farmers that are part of AHO and their passion of having local grown food, supporting the farmers directly, making sure that the seeds are heirloom and or organic, non-GMO. And so we've been around this road of homesteading and gardening and eating healthy and organically wise and locally wise for many, many years. And so it's very exciting to hear people who are just on the same page when it comes with that. And so hats off, my friend. Very, very good. Continue the hard work, because it's a challenge. I mean, you've got large corporates that you're dealing with. You're the small little homesteader there in Ramona, California, and you know, you're dealing with the bashing of the different large corps that are coming in trying to take out the small farmers, but you keep plugging away, and I encourage you to do the same. Keep plugging away until they say you can't go any further, and when they say that, continue going further.
Keep going.
Don't let them stop you. The Duracell battery on the commercial should be evident for our own lives, right?
Yep, my mom used to call me Road Runner when I was a kid because I was always going.
Yeah, well.
Because it's true. If you feel passionate enough about something, you know, what started out as making small lifestyle changes for me became a much bigger lifestyle change. And I wake up every morning feeling better, knowing that what we're doing is something that is important, not just for us. It's important for the world. It's important for future generations. It's important for current generations. We're definitely trying to make a positive change in the world. So
that's awesome. You're doing a fabulous job, Mary, and I encourage you to continue to do so. So with that being said, let's talk a little bit about how we in California have been battling the elements of nature when it comes to the drought. I thank the Creator for the wonderful rain we've had these past months. Maybe not so much here in the high desert area, but I know Southern California and probably where you guys are at, you guys have probably gotten a lot of rain, which has been great for our state. But talk a little bit about, if you wouldn't mind, to some of the local peeps up here that are gardening, that are going to continue gardening, hopefully come this spring. Some are apprehensive about doing it because where we live, there's water restrictions, so it makes it very challenging to garden in the desert, but it is doable and it is possible. Discuss that with our online community a little bit about how you homestead and being an aspiring farmer homesteader here in California, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, one of the things is the on a positive note is with all the rain we've had, I'm being told that we might actually be out of the drought. Now, yes, exactly. That's definitely a reason to do the happy dance.
Yes.
However, what I was frustrated the other day. I'm driving to work and I'm hearing this guy on the radio talking about all the different things he's going to do now that we're out of the drought. I'm going to wash my car, and now I don't have to save water when I take a shower. Well, just because we're out of a drought doesn't mean it's time to go waste some water.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things you can do to conserve water. Water is key. Water is life. Mm-hmm. So without water, we don't survive, and our gardens don't survive. Mm-hmm. So the first and foremost is what he had mentioned when you take a shower. Sometimes you have your hot water heater across the house, and it takes a little while for your water to heat up. Well, if you keep a 5-gallon bucket in your bathroom, not everybody can lift it, but it's not that difficult. You can do it. You put it under the shower while it's heating up, and there you go. You've got 2.5 to 5 gallons, depending on how much, and you can conserve that in your home or outside the garden. There are ways of growing. Number one, with your soil. If you amend your soil with rich organic compost and organic matter, when I say organic matter, that isn't necessarily the same as organic food. Organic matter is just things that you can add to your soil that make it natural. So composting would be, you can use the greenery from your yard if you mow your lawn, or if you rake up leaves. All those can be put into a pile to make a healthy addition to your soil that doesn't require any petroleum-based fertilizer. This is something that naturally occurs in nature. As it breaks down, it gives you what you need for your garden. We just finished actually posting an article on the different soil recipes for your garden, and part of that is compost and organic nutrients. So if you can make your soil rich in organic matter, it can actually retain a lot more water. Mm-hmm. Another part of that is growing in containers and growing in raised beds. One of the things I tell gardeners, especially people that are just getting started, is to start small, so you don't get overwhelmed. Some people, you have this tendency to get overwhelmed with something, so you quit altogether if it gets too complicated. So if you're just getting started, planting in containers or raised beds is the best option to get started. It not only does it conserve space, but it conserves resources like water. Where we are in Ramona, we have gophers. There's really no getting around it. There's no chemicals on our property, so we're definitely not going to sit here and try and battle them chemically. We use raised beds. All of our raised beds have gopher wire underneath it. We offer a free tutorial on our website to teach you how to make it. I think we figured it out, and it's about $38 in supplies.
Very good.
To build a 4-foot by 4-foot raised bed that's approximately 12 inches tall. There are kits you can buy. So if you're not as handy as some people to actually build your own, there are kits you can buy. There's a company called Garden in Minutes that we worked with in South Florida. Some of the garden centers you can buy. So I definitely recommend the raised beds. It's really simple to use.
Yeah, we have raised beds here in our front yard. We have 1, 2, 3, I think 6 total. We're using 3 right now because in the winter it's really hard to grow. I mean, we have such a diverse weather outlook here. We have either it's really, really cold or really, really hot. There's no in between, with maybe a week or two, if even a month of in between weather for the high desert. But for the most part, it's either cold or hot. So I've got a couple of garden beds up right now, and I've got a little bit of a greenhouse kind of thing going on. But yes, gophers are a rodent that seems to travel probably from your area to mine because they've made their way here amongst the squirrels that we also have. So that's a great idea to be able to offer something to the community and how to maintain the rodents that seem to want to eat or dig holes into your garden beds. That's a challenge. Yep. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. And on our website, like I said, we have all of these tutorials and all the articles, information that I've cited here today. Those can all be found on our website. It's marysheirloomseeds.com. We have a blog. So every day, no, maybe not every day, but several times a week, I do post new articles. We've got a free e-newsletter sign-up, again, on the website. So all this stuff is available for people for free. You can just check it out.
Awesome.
Growing in containers, I mentioned. We did something called a bucket garden. Have you ever grown in buckets?
I have not grown in buckets. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so because we are part of our passion and dedication is helping people grow their own food. Part of what I get feedback-wise from brand new people is, I don't have the money or I don't have the space to grow. So last year we did a bucket garden. It was 100% of the buckets were recycled. We used BPA-free buckets, and we used those recycled kitty litter buckets. We have 2 cats. They're indoor only. So we have kitty litter buckets. They're free. So you can either chuck them out in the trash, you can recycle them, or you can use them in the garden. So I do understand that a lot of people are against plastic, and we try to cut down on our use of plastic. But for people who don't have the money, of course, or don't have the space, containers are really beneficial to people. So we did a bucket garden last year, and I was amazed, again, because people tell me, I just can't grow anything, I don't have the space. Well, we've proved that now with a very small space. Again, it's on our website to start a bucket garden. It was approximately the size of an apartment balcony. We grew kale, we grew Swiss chard, we grew tomatoes, mustard greens, radish, and eggplant.
Nice.
So a good little mix, and it worked.
Sure. Well, once you get the green thumb, which I don't have quite yet, I'm getting there, and the bite or the bug, they say, to garden, it really is something that you choose to want to continue doing. You get very excited about planting when the new season comes up for us to do so after the frost and so on and so forth. So I truly have been blessed, and I truly have enjoyed this. Wasn't something that I thought I'd ever get myself into, but 4 years ago changed our lives. And my daughter, prior to 4 years ago, she'd say, Mom, you got to get out there and you got to garden and get your feet in the soil and, ground. You talk about grounding. I'm like, nah, I don't want to garden. It just takes so much work and I don't have the time and yada, 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 yada. Well, I got the bite and I got the bug. So now I'm like, I get so excited when the seeds come and like your seeds are coming. You're donating that to our community garden, and I'm like, I already got little flowers kind of planting in my front there in little pots, and I'm just excited about the new spring coming up, because that, to me, that's life. When I see greenery pop up, especially in a very dry and weary land, as Scripture talks about, we live in the desert where nothing grows very well here, and if it does, it's cactus or it is a Joshua tree. People change their lawns to rocks now because of the water, because we live in a place where there's not that much moisture. And so to see greenery pop up is just a blessing. And I truly, and with that being said, it changes your countenance. I think when you live somewhere in the quote country, or you're living somewhere where it's very green and plush and alive, and there's just vitality going through, and there's just an abundance of life growing, it changes your perspective a little bit. It changes your mood. It changes the way you feel about yourself. And I was in the front just this morning making breakfast for my children, and I turned around and I was like, oh my goodness, my spring mix just took off. I mean, the whole bed is just full of little green romaines and spring mixes and different kind of lettuces, all just kind of intermingled all together. And I thought, to me, that's just beauty. It's just a seed going to the ground. You don't know what it's going to turn out to be like, except for the picture that's on the package, right? But you trust that if you water it and you have the good soil and the sun that hits it, that you're going to see something that's going to burst out of that soil into your garden bed for you to enjoy to eat. And I thought, wow, it was such a beautiful sight this morning to turn around and go, oh, there's no dirt. It's actually greenery. There's lettuce growing in my front yard. And I was just excited. So I'm thinking, I can't wait for spring to come and to plant some exciting new things that we've gotten. I'm looking forward to what you're offering our family homestead here. Miss Mary has offered Mama Bell here at Shalom Pod some beautiful heirloom seeds that she's giving to us as a gift. So we're looking forward to getting those started and taking some pictures and maybe sending those back to you guys so that you can see what we can do over here in the desert. So it's very exciting. I think gardeners and homesteaders and farmers just have a connection with the earth and with each other that is such a rare thing, and people just sometimes just don't get it, but I really don't care. I enjoy what I do, and I love it. So very good. Well, tell us a little bit about, if you wouldn't mind, Mary, something here that I have called Gardens Fundraiser. You guys have fundraising events happening there on your site, and what you guys are doing there in Ramon?
Yes. So you just mentioned how we are donating to your community garden. Every year, Mary's Heirloom Seeds donates seeds and sometimes supplies to various school gardens and community gardens across the country. I personally make it a priority to volunteer at a local school or more than one school, and we also host our own planting days. The kids absolutely love it. When I lived in Florida, we went to a Title I school where most of the kids, they don't have the kind of opportunities that some kids do. So just having these big wide eyes and these exciting kids, it was really nice to be able to do that. So on our website we have some blogs of the different experiences. We did one here locally last year for their Harvest Day. Our Gardens Fundraiser is a way for us to help even more schools and community gardens. So this year we're expanding all of our donation programs. So we're donating to more schools. We're donating to more community gardens. We're still donating to our Florida people. We have a group called Florida Urban Homesteading Nonprofit. They have a community garden that they worked really hard to raise the funds, and they won a grant for. So that's one in particular. We have a Sage School Garden here. I've even done a Girl Scout troop where I went to their group and we talked about the different types of plants. They knew so much about the bees and why we needed to save the bees. It was amazing to talk to these girls. And then, of course, like I said, we do our own planting day. So we have a Gardens Fundraiser on our website. It was originally just going to be a one-month program. There are items that my sister and I have both made. And what we're doing this year is something we've never done before, and we're going to expand our food donation program. So last year we always have more produce than we actually eat. We preserve some of it, but there's always some that we just want to give away. So this year, because we have the opportunity with the Gardens Fundraiser, you can find the information on our website, we're going to be growing more food to be able to donate to people in need in our community. We're encouraging other people to do the same. So we've been giving away free seeds to different people that are also committed to helping others. and also volunteering with the different opportunities across the country. So we're very excited about that. We really want to help more people.
That's awesome. That is a beauty. Yes, and we're excited, too, to get the seeds that you've donated for us, and we're hopefully going to get them in the ground so that we can actually give food out to our community and some people in our neighborhood and so on and so forth. So thank you so much today, Mary, for joining little Mama Bell here on Shalom Pod and just sharing the wealth of knowledge that you have as a aspiring farmer and gardener, and being able to just share with the community online here about your passion and what you do. I would encourage everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice to please visit Mary at marysheirloomseeds.com and go to her website, read about, she's got some incredible information on there, a wealth of information, a lot of different things that you can learn and glean from. She's available for phone calls, she's available for emails. I'll have her plug that in here in a minute. But again, I just want to thank you very much for taking out your time this morning, Mary, to talk with me and to share your heart as a homesteader along with mine. And hopefully that you and I can continue working together in allowing the gardens to flourish from one end of the state to the other.
And thank you so much for having me. It's really a pleasure talking to people and having more people to be able to share what we're passionate about. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And please send, if you wouldn't mind just sharing with the online listeners here your information, your website, your phone number, how to contact you.
Absolutely. So you can find my website, which is marysheirloomseeds.com. Heirloom is spelled Heirloom, just in case. If you go to our website, you can use the free sign-up at the very bottom. If you scroll down on the home page, it says newsletter. You enter your email and you subscribe. We never sell your information, and we don't send you spam. The only information is just about gardening and about our seeds. For specific information about growing, we have a page dedicated to it. It's called Growing Tips and Videos. You just click there. You'll find a lot of information. We have a Gardens fundraiser link there, and then you can also find Mary's blog. It's all available on our homepage. My email is mary@marysheirloomseeds.com, so we make it really easy on you. And yes, there really is a Mary. That's me. I answer my own emails. And a phone number, if you need us, is 760-870-4555. And if we don't get to your call, it could be that we're either on the other line or we're out in the backyard working on our garden. So if you don't get us, just leave us a message and we'll make sure we get back to you.
Excellent. Well, she's really good at getting back to you. She was very efficient with me on Facebook, on Messenger, and when I've called. So you'll be sure to get a phone call and message back from Mary regarding your questions about gardening or your questions about her seeds. And again, I would encourage you to visit her at marysheirloomseeds.com. And let's get back into gardening this, guys, come spring. Let's enjoy the sunshine that's coming here shortly, the rain that we've had. We've been blessed as a state, and putting some good seeds back into the ground and enjoying the harvest that we're going to be able to enjoy for our families and also for the community. So again, Mary, thank you very much for joining us. I wanted to thank Scott at Worship and Word Radio for being my engineer and my husband. And to our online community abroad, this is Mama Bell at Healing Throughout. Our website is healingthroughout.com. Please visit us. We have a blog and also a newsletter to sign up for free that I post as I can here, and talking a little bit about homesteading, about gardening, and just about life. So again, thank you so kindly. Mama Bell signing off. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and shalom.
Thank you for tuning in to Worship and Word Radio, where we're lifting up the name of our King, Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus, our Messiah, every day. Come join us daily and worship the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, Yeshua.